Hello, good evening. Police are investigating an alleged assault of a 15-year-old boy by security guards while he was out shopping with his mother at Tesco in Clacton. Charlie Roche was left with cuts and bruises to his face and body after he was suspected of shoplifting. Lorna Ramsey reports.
Things are getting back to normal for Charlie Roche, but it's taken a while. These are the injuries he suffered after an alleged assault by security guards at Tesco in Clacton. He was suspected of shoplifting after he was seen eating a packet of chicken in the store. His mother Jenny says she was going to pay for it and says she can't believe the injuries he suffered.
Any child shouldn't be beaten up by people in a shop or anywhere. I just saw all these security guards literally dive on him and blood literally was everywhere. And I was just screaming. I started running and screaming. I don't really know exactly what happened, but I just saw literally feet and hands, and I just wanted to see him breathing, really.
Charlie initially ran out of the store when security staff approached him, but his mother called him on his mobile and persuaded him to come back into the supermarket to sort things out. Charlie says when he re-entered the store, a group of security guards wrestled him to the floor.
I had bleeding nose and bruised eye and fat lip. I don't really talk about it. My mum took me on holiday a few weeks later and then I went back to school as normal and don't really talk about it now.
Essex Police have confirmed that they're continuing to investigate an alleged assault against Charlie. A spokesman for Tesco say they take any allegation like this extremely seriously and they're helping police with their inquiries. Charlie and Jenny are also helping police, and officers have taken their own pictures of Charlie's injuries as evidence. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Clacton.
Police investigating the shooting of a father of three in Luton have arrested a second man in connection with his death. Richard Long was shot dead in Haymarket Road on the Lucy Farm estate last month after he was chased by several men. A 17-year-old man has already been charged with murder. Bedfordshire Police today said a 19-year-old man was arrested in Hatfield this morning and is being questioned about Mr Long's murder. Firefighters have been tackling a blaze at a 16th century pub in Bressingham in Norfolk. More than 15 appliances were called to the fire at the Checkers Inn just before 7 o'clock last night. It took crews more than an hour to bring the flames under control. The thatched roof of the building has been destroyed and officers are continuing to assess the structural damage to the building, but no one was injured. Now, the international football meant there were no Premiership or Championship matches this weekend, but our League One and Two teams did play, and there was also European Rugby 2 in Northampton. Here's Matthew Whiting.
Delia Smith joined loyal Canaries fans on the 600-mile round trip to Carlisle, also making the journey reserve keeper Michael Theoclitus, forgiven after he failed to show for a Johnston's Paint Trophy match in midweek. The home side got off to the better start, Ian Hart going close from a free kick, but Norwich took the lead just before half-time. Wes Houlihan tapping home from close range after a missed clearance by experienced midfielder Graham Kavanagh. City had the better of the second half, but it took a fine save by Fraser Foster from Mark Bridge-Wilkinson to ensure all 3 points and send the Canaries faithful home happy. Bottom of the table Southampton arrived at Southend in good form, and they got off to the perfect start at Roots Hall, Neil Trotman stabbing home after just 6 minutes. A fine double save from Steve Mildenhall to keep out Adam Lallana, followed by a superb free kick from George Friend brought the Shrimpers back into the match. But only briefly, Lallana deflecting home a Morgan Schneiderling shot to make it 2-1 to the Saints. Lallana then bagged his second on the stroke of half-time to wrap up the points. It finished Southend 1, Southampton 3. Colchester earned a valuable win at Leyton Orient, Kayode Odijayi with the only goal of the game to take the U's up to third in League One. MK Dons are just behind Colchester after a narrow win at home to Walsall. New loan signing Aaron Doran setting up Jermaine Easter for his 9th goal of the season, form that's earned Easter a call-up into the full Wales squad. In League Two, Northampton travelled to Bury and fought back from 2 goals down for the second week running. David Worrell and Ryan Lowe gave the home side a 2-0 lead. But after the break, a fine solo goal by Courtney Herbert inspired a cobbler's comeback. Herbert showed strength, pace, skill and a cool finish to make it 2-1 before Adi Akinfenwa equalised late on. But it's Courtney Herbert's goal that this game will be remembered for. There was excitement before the match as European rugby returned to Franklin's Gardens after a 3-year absence. For Saints fans, the match signalled a return to the good times.
Great, yeah, very, very excited about it, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic, and I really do think they're going to do well this season.
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game, I hope.
A good game it certainly was, with one outstanding performance. Fly half Shane Geraghty had a hand in all the Saints' points as England manager Martin Johnson watched on. The pre-season signing set up the first try with a delicate chip, Chris Ashton eventually going over. Then some quick thinking on the stroke of half-time saw him break through to score himself. Before a burst of pace saw Geraghty break the Munster line to create another try for Ashton.
Shane was outstanding today, you know, he attacked really well, he created the tries, or a lot of the tries, his kicking game was good, so we're really pleased, you know, it was a real good signing for us.
In total, Geraghty scored 21 points as Saints edged out an experienced Munster side 31 points to 27, and guarantee a successful return to European competition. Matthew Whiting, Anglia News.
Well, staying with sport, and hundreds of people in Bedford braved the cold and hit the river today. Rowing crews from across the region took part in the town's 8th regatta of the year, making it one of the busiest rowing venues in the whole country. Rhiannon Mills went along for a look.
For most of us, an overcast autumn day wouldn't be the ideal time to hit the river. Not in Bedford. Because this is the autumn head of the river race. You've got over 400 boats with 1,500 competitors rowing their hearts out over a 2,000-metre course. And, yes, some of them do get wet.
All crews now voting, please, for Division 5.
With crews from across East Anglia taking part, as well as London, Oxford and Norwich, there's some serious competition. Not exactly a day of messing about on the river. In fact, Bedford has already hosted 7 regattas already this year, making it one of the country's top rowing venues. And the organisers are keen to shake off the sport's sometimes stuffy image.
What annoys me so much is this elitist tag. We're not elitist. I think rowing's become popular because of the Olympic success over the last 2 Olympics. The fact that the comprehensive schools have now joined in and given us a much bigger base to our pyramid, and I think I'm told it's the fastest growing sport in universities, particularly for women actually.
With the team in Bedford already preparing for another 8 events in 2010, they're hoping that even more people will take the plunge next year, as long as you don't mind the cold, that is. Rhiannon Mills, Anglia News in Bedford.
Well, there were more fit souls in Peterborough, where nearly 5,000 runners took to the streets for the Great Eastern Run, which was started by United's Director of Football, Barry Fry. Nearly 3,500 of them were tackling the 13-mile half marathon, while the rest contented themselves with a 4-kilometre fun run. The event was won by Peterborough policeman Neil Addison in 67.5 minutes. Low-cost airline EasyJet is offering kosher food for passengers on its new flights from Luton to Israel. It'll supply the special menu on its new service between Luton and Tel Aviv, due to start on the 2nd of November. Kosher foods are those that conform to the rules of Jewish religion. The menu will be available only on the Tel Aviv flights, which run 6 times a week. Now, X Factor finalist Ollie Murs will find out tonight if he's made it through to the next stage of the show. The 25-year-old energy advisor from Essex was praised for his rendition of She's the One last night, but that came as no surprise to the crowds that had gathered to watch him in his hometown of Whittam. It was a performance he made his own. Ollie Murs' rendition of She's the One drew praise from his mentor Simon Cowell and the rest of the panel.
This is going to be your hardest this week. A young, good-looking guy singing a Robbie song, but you did it really well.
You remind me of Robbie, which is that you've got this humility about yourself. What I love about Robbie is Robbie knows he's not the best singer in the world, but he admits it. He is a brilliant entertainer. That's why he is where he is. And you've got that charm about you, Ollie.
But then that's something they knew already in his hometown of Witham in Essex. Last night at the local football club, where Ollie once spent a couple of seasons as a star striker, crowds gathered to watch the show together. They have high hopes for the 25-year-old energy advisor, and it seems they're not the only ones. Robbie Williams joined the 12 finalists for his first UK appearance in 3 years, and the ex-take-thatter seemed to be quite taken with Ollie.
You hit them notes better than I do, mate. I love Ollie Murs. I want him to be my mate.
Ollie will find out if he's made it through to next week's final at 8 o'clock this evening. But in Witham, they certainly have their fingers crossed. He's the one who'll be in it till the end.
Well, that's